And we are live from Vancouver. Hello and welcome to part one of Vancouver's first ever virtual Battle of the Bands, the VANJAM finale part one. Woo! Thank you for being with us today. My name is Lisa. I'm the founder of YVArts Creative, and I'm here with Marcel. He is the founder of NoDef Studios and also taking care of all of our marketing activities and videos. We also have Ida, who is our PR manager, and she has been taking care of all the communication with our sponsors, as well as talking to you on social media. And we have Rachel, who is our editor-in-chief, and she's been handling all of our press releases, as well as taking care of the YVArts newsletters. I'd like to begin tonight's program by saying that VANJAM operates on the sovereign, unceded land of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. I ask you to join me in acknowledging the communities and their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. VANJAM also acknowledges that it was founded upon exclusions and erasures of many Indigenous people, including those on whose land we're located. And we're committed to continued work dismantling the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. I'd also like to take this time to thank all of our sponsors that's made this event possible. We have Flash Recording, Standard Vinyl, Artee Screenprinting and Embroidery, Santevia Water Systems, the Downtown Vancouver Business Association, NoDef Studios, Cliff Bar and Company, and YVArts. And of course, this event wouldn't mean anything without all of the bands who've participated. We received almost 50 entries, which was kind of amazing for a first-time event. So we're really grateful for all of the bands that have submitted, and congratulations to all of the bands who are moving up. And we'll find out who the top 10 is in just a few moments. And let me remind you what the bands are competing for. The band coming in third place will receive 50 prints from Artee Screenprinting and Embroidery for shirts purchased through Artee suppliers, and this is valued at $300. They're also going to receive a recording package for one song, mixed and mastered by Flash Recording Studios. This is valued at $250. The second place band will receive 100 prints from Artee Screenprinting and Embroidery, valued at $470. A one-song recording package from Flash Recording, valued at $250, and a $300 gift card for the Bone Rattle Music Store on Commercial Drive. And finally, the grand prize for the first place band includes 100 prints from Artee Screenprinting and Embroidery, valued at $470, a recording package for 3 songs, mixed and mastered by Flash Recording Studio, valued at $750, and 50 record vinyl production from Standard Vinyl, and this is valued at $1,000. But that's not all. Thanks to the amazing team at Artee Screenprinting and Embroidery, all the other participating bands will receive over $125 worth of merch printing services. And for those bands, we'll send out an email by Monday on how you can claim that. And thanks to Cliff Bar and YVArts, we have a giveaway for one of our viewers. So throughout tonight's live stream, we encourage you to join the discussion on social media for a chance to win a mixed flavor 12-pack from YVArts and a 4-month supply of Cliff Bars. That is a lot of Cliff Bars. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at VANJAM Battle. And don't forget to use the hashtag VANJAM2020 to join our discussion. So without a further ado, let's get this show started. The first band to join the top 10 is the winner of the Golden Buzzer campaign. So I'd like to reintroduce you to the winners of the Golden Buzzer social media contest, which was the Lunchtime Band. They were chosen by you by sharing and liking their posts. So here's a little clip of their submission video. And once again, congratulations for making it to the top 10.
lot that they're really tied up together, which was really cool to see. And you see that they have been playing together quite a lot. I really like their vibe, you know, and I like the fact that they're defining themselves in unapologetic genre specific, something like that, you know, and it really shows like they're kind of taking influences from all over. And I don't know, I really enjoyed that. Like, I'll be happy to see them live one day.
Really, I was a bit in between thoughts about this band. It's obviously a really catchy guitar melody, and it's pretty nice, but nothing I haven't heard before. But I feel like if you send in a video of which the recording quality is this bad, so bad that I can't understand a word of the lyrics, how am I gonna judge your song? So I did go up on Bandcamp and listen a little bit more, but I didn't really find anything distinctive. It's right, but they're correct that they're genre bending and going all over the place, but I can't find that one thing that makes them the lunchtime band. Like, I can't really figure out what their thing is.
All right, and now we're going to continue with our top 10 list, and we're going to introduce the judges first, and then the bands that were competing in their category, and then after that we will announce who the judges chose. So the first judge we're going to introduce is Olly Corpe. He's from the United Kingdom, and he's the lead singer of the King's Parade. Since forming on a Hawaiian cruise liner in 2015, the King's Parade have developed a style that combines both classic Detroit blues with melodic crossover pop, evoking the crafted sounds of the Black Keys and Alabama Shakes. They've recorded their debut album in the iconic Abbey Road Studios in London, and they have since played sold-out shows in cities across Europe. So here are the bands in Olly's category. The Hunter and the Potter, Troy Ounce and the Alley Cat Drunks, Each Other's Mothers, Ask, Sonic Break. And the winner of this category is Ask.
I mean, out of all the submissions I got, they were by far the most accomplished, I guess, sound that I heard out of all the submissions. And I just really, really loved the grooves and how tight the band were. I think one of the main things that I noticed in all the submissions is there was still a lot of work musically for a lot of these bands to do. And Ask were one of the first ones that came forward to me and really kind of were really punchy and tight as a band, which for me is something that is super important. Vocally as well, I thought the vocals were really on point. Songwriting wise, I thought they were one of the more advanced bands in terms of really understanding the importance of structure and the importance of like really good themes in every single section of a song. Just in that clip, actually, that you were playing, they were just about to go into, I think, one of my favorite sections, which is just this little kind of breakdown, kind of bridge section where there's a really cool guitar riff that opens up, and in the video itself, even though it's clearly like pouring down with rain, the whole crowd kind of goes wild for that bit, which I think is really, really sick, because if you can do that purely musically to get people really excited, that for me is like the sign of something really good. So yeah, they were stand out to me.
I grooved with that song right from when they started playing, and I was like, I can imagine this is a recording, like a full-fledged recording, and I would listen to it in my downtime. So I think that's a big win for me.
I really appreciate the vibes, the energy, and even for the performance, even if it's raining, they give the warm and really the smile, and that's pretty good for the band.
The next judge I'd like to introduce, all the way from India, is Mali. Mali is one of India's fastest growing emerging artists. From having one of the 10 best Indian singles of 2017 to becoming India's first artist to join Spotify's Radar program, Mali is paving the way for young female artists of her generation. You can read all about her latest album in this month's Rolling Stone's India feature. And so here are the bands in Mali's category. Ever Real. Mellow Haunt. Robert Connolly Farr. Cat Madden. And Celebrity Worship Culture. And Mali has chosen Cat Madden.
I mean, obviously she's like a vocal diva, and I think what's really amazing about that performance is that the band really backs her up. It's not that, you know, everybody's trying to be a star. It's like everyone in the band knows that she's the star, and they're really just complimenting what she's doing, which I think is really cool. I know not everybody's a fan of vocal-driven kind of music, but if you are, like, this is a top choice for that sort of thing. I would also really look forward to watching them live because they sound like a lot of fun, and yeah, definitely a band that should be heard more often. Definitely her voice is a strong point.
Okay, I'm sorry, but my opinion is different. So the first video, it took like 1 minute and 18 seconds before something really happened with the song. And I felt that that was too long. So just the arrangement was just not appealing to me. Sometimes they seemed a little off key. I can appreciate vocal driven, but still I feel that the vocals and the music should weave in and out together. And in a way it sounded like she was singing on top of karaoke tracks, that it wasn't melding in. And my other issue was, I can appreciate a Janis Joplin, Melissa Etheridge kind of thing, but it felt forced from her. Like, that's not, to me, it feels like that's not her voice, that she's thought, oh, I want to sound like Janis Joplin, so let me go as deep as I can. But I didn't feel it, and maybe 30% of the time I couldn't understand the words she was saying, which again made me think maybe this isn't her optimal singing voice. I didn't hate it. I mean, it's the sort of band that if I heard, again, I hear a couple songs, I think, I'd be willing to listen to more, but based on what I heard, I couldn't say I liked it that much.
So I think the most of us are touched by the feeling of the sounds, the musicians. And the first impression of this band to me is just the feeling of all the guys and the girl. Her voice and her driving remember me just Janis Joplin, but I think she would be start more easy, and the crescendo to the total music would be more. Let me see. Could be better if her applied this crescendo to the music, but I like her voice. I like the structure of the music, and overall, I think this is a good choice. Yeah.
All right. So our next judge is Ronni Mardor from USA. And Ronni is a singer-songwriter and film score composer at KOR Music. She studied music in London, England, before becoming the studio manager at Igloo Music. She works with Grammy Award-winning engineers and artists on the regular, so we are very grateful to have her as a judge on this contest. In Ronnie's group, we have Strange Breed, the Harmonic Cosmonauts, Western Jaguar, Mushy Face, and Son of James. And the winner of this group is Mushy Face.
Out of all the bands I looked at, Mushy Face, I felt they had the the best sense of identity and brand. They know exactly why they're here for. They know exactly what they do. I really enjoyed watching their video. I think they put like 3-minute video for this song and how it develops and everything. You know, I found myself like laughing and having fun, and something about the way the songwriting that almost go to this sort of like comedy music, you know, is just it really sits with what they try to portray. They said something about the fact that just like they want to be here, they want to have fun, they want them to have fun, and just everybody to get smashed and, you know, enjoy life and music. They were very tied together, and I think you see it throughout. And I really wanted to give it a chance and see where it can go.
Really reminds me of bands like Pew 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 and even a little like Bowling for Soup and stuff I used to listen to in high school. So always fun. I think the vocal energy is great. He doesn't shy away, which is good. But even though they have a very clear picture of their brand and how they want to present themselves, I feel like they could focus on arranging the music a little bit more. Especially the sounds are just pretty plain, not very distinctive at all. Even though the songs are fun, especially in the recordings as well, like the Bandcamp recordings, the drums in the mix just lack total energy. It's just very, very flat. And I bet they're really fun live, and if I stumbled across them on a festival, I would stay and watch. But if you can't like translate that energy to your recordings, it's going to be really, really hard to properly present yourself online. So I think that needs massive attention, and for that reason, like, I wouldn't put them very high up in my list right now.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Simeon. I think there's some interesting touches in there, and as Ronni said, I think there's clearly some like nice gelling moments between the band. I think I've always had a bit of an issue with the satire thing in music anyway, unless it's done like really, really well. I mean, if you think of people like Tenacious D or like Steel Panther, who've like absolutely nailed the branding but also the musicality of it. I think that's exactly what Simeon's saying. You kind of, I feel like it really needs to be a next level for it to attract that kind of audience when you're doing satire. I mean, the whole point of that song is they're talking about being in a pop punk band, which I think was funny, but it just led nowhere after that. If they created more of a story, maybe lyrically or musically. And the other side of it is I think I find it really difficult to put them high on my list, considering that this, the whole point of this competition is to highlight maybe, it will give a chance for career to a band. And I think, to me, there's maybe something in, giving that prize to someone with a bit more originality and with more of a career line in their minds. So that's where I'm at.
All right, our next judge is Apryl Peredo from Japan. Apryl is the owner and artist development manager at Inter Idoru, based in Tokyo. Before coming to Japan, she worked in various positions in the States, including A&R, radio promotion, organizing festivals as well. She has a strong relationship with different labels, festivals, publishers, venues, etc. And she currently helps both Japanese artists touring overseas as well as foreign artists tour in Japan. And in Apryl's group, we have Nicola Deathray, Campfire Shitkickers, Twitch, My Friends Are Electric, Robots and Gods. And April's choice here was Robots and Gods.
So on that studio semi-acoustic video, I could tell, obviously, that the song was meant to be bigger, more rock, like we saw it in the second video. But they did it semi-acoustic so well that I was really impressed. I'm always impressed when a band can modify their style based on the needs of the situation. And COVID-19, wanting a decent video, they gathered together. They had to do it in studio. It was tight. It was on. The vocalist's voice was booming, as it were. Even for their studio mix that they made, they took the time to kind of be... I'm a person that thinks a band should look like they're the band. Like, visually, I think a band should, I don't know, somehow look like they're together, be it how they've dressed or their color or whatever is going on. That even there, they took the time to do that, even though they were going into the studio to do it. I like this style in particular as well, so that helped.
And yeah, even if technically, that's pretty good. For me, it's something I haven't seen, and I see a lot. This kind of song, kind of band. It's for this video, as you, Apryl, I didn't see anything but this video, and I found this flat. It's like for the image of the experience we have, so image, performance, and song. It looks like I don't know if we can judge the video, but it's all inside the video, and it's like in a school teaching, you know, music school, like something really professional. It doesn't look like something professional. So yeah, I'm really in between with this band. Not for artistic, but only for the performance, and I was not really concrete. The word in English now. I have a oh, conquis. I don't know. Sorry, but yeah.
This kind of style is kind of my favorite, mainly when I was a teenager, but also now. But from the two videos that I've heard, it sounded like it's kind of harsh to say, but it's kind of wannabe, I guess, because something in the sound wasn't quite there. I mean, the second video sounded like a single, but when they were acoustic, they were great. I mean, what you've heard, Apryl, is much better than what we've heard on the two videos that I've heard right now. But it sounds like they need to maybe modify their direction. I mean, in acoustic, it sounded better, much better. Something just felt missed out on the single. And Vocalist is great. The players are amazing, but something just felt missed. I mean, I had a great teacher who's he had a band called Walkways, and they blew my mind. They're from Israel, and I mean, comparing to that, there's nothing to do. You need to compare. So I just feel like they need to do something else. They need to modify themselves, and then they will find their essence, like on the acoustic version, but also recorded singles and albums and everything.
Our next judge is Simeon Pranger from the Netherlands. At a young age, Simeon started up Treetop Agency, which is a booking agency out of the Netherlands. And now they represent over 30 artists across 17 different countries. And in Simeon's group, we have Black Cognac, Zach and Jim. Back. Organ noises. And Simeon's choice out of that is Black Pontiac.
Tick, 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 boom! Moving where you wanna go. I'm addicted to the night. Take me to it.
Impressed with this band. It's just, it really reminds me of the Hives. Like, it's the Hives 2020. It's really classic, yet I feel like they have updated enough, and it's current enough sound wise to just fit right in the current like indie garage rock scene. It's well thought out, lyrics are fun. It's not just a band with a list of love songs. They definitely don't mind making a joke out of themselves, but it's not as in your face as with Mushy Face, who say they intend to be funny. These guys are just funny doing what they do. And yeah, it's super tight. It's definitely not something I've never heard before, but if you're gonna take on a genre that's been done a lot, the only thing to do is do it well, and they definitely do that. It's just a banger of a song. So, and they're obviously young guys, lots of energy. So I think if they were awarded some prizes, it seems like they're the kind of people who would do the right thing with it.
I think I had a similar kind of, Simeon and I clearly have a very similar kind of taste. At the same time, I would say, so I only heard that first clip. I didn't get to hear the second one. And the only thing about the first one, which kind of like grinded me a little bit, is as I was listening, nothing really changed. There was kind of like, it's always interesting to do something which is chordally very minimal and see how you can expand on that vocally. And they did a great job, but there was just a moment where I would have loved for it to just maybe drop or change direction a little bit, like a middle eight or bridge would have really, really helped. I mean, the energy was definitely there. I'd also like to point out that this was like, from what I've seen, the best produced video we got sent, and there was some like shockingly produced video sent. And I think anyone who's aspiring to like enter in a competition needs to really think about these things. You can't, I mean, an example, one of the bands we listed earlier, I think the video starts with them tuning, which should never, ever be a thing. I think it's just worth cutting your video and re-uploading as a private thing. Anyway, that's just a bit of a... love to see what they would do with the prize if they did get it.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Olly and Simeon. Like, by far, I think as soon as I started watching it, like by far the best sound and the best video quality, and there's nothing you can do, you know, where it is drawing us in, you know, and definitely super tight together, tons of charisma, and I really enjoyed that. I think they, like, definitely, as Simeon said, took this genre or this style kind of thing and took it to like all the way, which is definitely what you should do. Like, be good, but like try to be the best. I think they did a really great job, and they definitely can take it far, and yeah, sound top notch. So I'll be really happy to see them go forward.
Wonderful. And now we have Stivy Malty Soares from Brazil. Stivy is involved in many aspects of the music industry as a producer, marketer, music photographer, and a business consultant. He is the founder of ConectArtesSC, a project that he started to provide financial support for artists impacted by COVID-19. He is also active on stage as a bassist, having played gigs for crowds over 10,000 people in Brazil. And the people and the bands in his category are Saints and Sinners, the Lily Dippers, Ozawar, Arctic Kings, and Collision Course. And the winner from this category is Collision Course.
My choice for this band, the quality of the sound is not so good, okay, but to do grunge with quality, it's not so easy, and these guys reach this point. They made grunge with high quality. In a precise point of the music, when they start the chorus, the harmony gets down and the voices rise up. It's, for me, it's amazing. The driving of his voice is very balanced. Even the down quality of the sound, but we can hear this precise driven rising in some moments of the music. I think is this. My choice was by the complete band. And not only for one or other guys of the band, the high performance. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And Mali, did you have any thoughts on this band?
I concur with what Stevie said. I think it is impossible to have like really good quality sounding grunge music. They sound really apt to their style, but again, not something that I haven't heard before. Yeah, that's about all I had.
Okay, thank you so much. And then moving on to Augustin, what did you think of this band?
There is energy. Technically, it's in place. That's too bad because we don't have the song entirely, so we can't have the progression of the when they want to bring us. So that's a video. We see that they enjoy to play together, and we see how can I say, yeah, good vibes. So big, like they are young and they want to eat the world. So that's great. After that, for me, it's always something that I know and not that I know, but not I will have it. But something too common for me. They can do better for me. They can do better. I think they will.
The next judge we have is Afek Lamour from Israel. Afek is a rising star in the Israeli pop rock scene. He gained national attention last summer when he made it to the semi-finals in a reality show, The Voice Israel, and has since been busy in studio recording more songs. His latest single, called Bloodstone, is a heart-wrenching song about the things we notice when our loved ones become memories. The bands in Afek's category are Crystal Dos Santos, Julian Amar, Ben Cottrell, Jin Sun,
your secrets, tell me all your lies,
and Focus Your Audio. And the winner is Julian Amar.
Sure don't mean that I don't care, even if it's not always so clear, despite how things might sometimes appear. I'd rather be a traveling far and wide with you're right here by my side.
Fun, he yelled part 2, and I was like, woo! And the chorus was a chorus. I mean, the other songs that I've heard, nothing stuck. They were performed very good. The singers were amazing, but it didn't stay with me. And that was the only song that I heard, and I said, it has potential. I can really hear it on the radio. I mean, just if they will cut it over there and maybe stop when the audience clapped. I mean, they had the instrumental part, and in the middle of it, the audience clapped, and they continued. So either way, with anything, anytime that I hear the audience clap, the song has ended. Even if they want to play, the song has ended. The audience knows better. So that's one of the things that I've wrote. But I don't know, they just, like I've heard in Black Pontiac. I mean, they made me feel the same in like 30 seconds. So they won. They just won. Me.
I thought it was pleasant. I could certainly see summer rooftop party, fireworks are about to happen, this type of band, all ages, you know, everybody coming together, you know, grandma, grandpa, parents, the young cousins, enjoying that. So I do like that part of it, and the fact that it's kind of a chaos of styles. You know, there's some jazz and there's some pop, and sometimes he's talking. So I really enjoyed that. What I was thinking, though, is that type of style, how far can it go, or where can it be? Like, I feel like this band may need to be in only certain types of settings to be truly appreciated. Out in the park shell, that would be great. Rooftop party, that would be great. Standard dark music venue, boring stage, maybe it's not the best place for them. Ballroom in the hotel, great. So my concern would be, are they adaptable? Could their style be adaptable to any type of venue? And then also, because it's kind of the chaos of styles, I think many people could like it, but how many people would love it? So, of course, there's an audience for everyone, but just, I guess, in the scheme of like a kind of a contest to find a band that might have the most overall appeal, I'm hesitant, but I do really like them.
Wonderful, thank you. Awesome. And Olly, what did you think?
I'm kind of I wrote so many notes about this band because I'm kind of conflicted. I mean, initially I was exactly the same at Afek. I was so taken by that little intro riff, and it's like immediately bouncy. I thought that was so cool. I mean, generally the instrumentation is great. I think the danger always with instrumentalists, which always seems to be a thing, is that they think they can do everything. And to me, as soon as I heard the vocal come in, I was like, damn, because there's so much potential. That, I mean, the lyrics are really cool as well. And I think sometimes just maybe having the kind of like ability to step back from your music and be like, I think this would sound a lot better if someone else jumped on this instead of me, is super crucial. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, to me, it shows more the professionality than anything if you can step away from something you've created and say, I'll get someone else to do something. On the other hand, I went back on my thought and thought, well, this is super niche. This is exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to be cheeky and trying to be super theatrical. Bands that come to mind are bands like Fun, who are all over the place. It's like musical theater, jazz, pop. It just goes crazy. I guess I went through that motion. Then I came back to thinking, no, I'd love to hear a really cool vocal. And then it kind of even proved my point at the end when there was the 2-minute instrumental, because I was like, that's what musicians shouldn't do, is like be overindulgent and think that they sound sick and then play for like a 20-minute song. I think it's really, there's so much hope in there. I just would love to see maybe a few guest appearances, maybe some different people singing, maybe, the keyboard player just stepping.
We have Augustin Sérès from France. Augustin is a booking agent at Mélodyn Productions, and in perfect harmony with what we are doing here at VANJAM, one of his roles is to increase overseas collaborations for the company by expanding international networks. He has worked with many French and international artists, and he is also a city leader at Sofar Sound's Toulouse chapter. And the artists competing in Augustin's category are the Noodle Boys,
Now on a Sunday morning,
Major Fantasy, Station Youth Academy, Beyond the Eyes, and Fallen Stars. And the winner is Fallen Stars.
Everything was there. The image, dress code, with the song, with the performance. They try to give energy in a little cube. They try, because they didn't have the last musician to put in the video. It was a good idea, so they can rebound for that. That was great. So there is idea. The song is like more for the 90s, from the 90s, but it's well combined, well done, well played. So that's why, yeah, I chose this band.
I'm with Augustin, and over all you say, the truth of the music, the vibe of the music. This guys makes me jump off the chair and jump and jump and jump. Oh, good vibe, good energy, and I like so much. One of my preferred bands.
Somewhere in between, like definitely a well-produced video, and I enjoyed watching it, you know, and I like the idea of bringing the guitar player on the little TV, like it was really nice. The main thing that I felt is that they kind of had a very strong image, you know, that they took they first have the image and then they said, okay, we want to make that music, and it was a bit forced. It's true that it's kind of like you're saying, this 90s vibe metalhead sort of thing. Definitely, I think if you're doing it and you're doing it in 2020, I would like to modernize it a bit, but again, that's just personal taste. So yeah, in general, I agree. I think it was good, but I think it was a bit forced.
Okay. And our final band of the top 10 is called the Wild Card Band. And the organizers of VANJAM picked this band out of the runners-up from each judge's top 5. We're super excited to announce that the final band of the top 10 is Mellowhunt.
Awesome, and congratulations to all of the bands in our top 10. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us. We hope you had as much fun as we did. And thank you to all the bands who entered and all the judges for giving us their time and their feedback, and the sponsors for helping to make this event possible. Tune in on August 7th next week at 8 p.m. Pacific to find out the top 3 and watch their performances. And we'll be hosting a virtual after party to celebrate. If you don't have your ticket yet, you can head over to Eventbrite or our Facebook page to find out more, and we hope to see you there.
Bye.